I request Ms. Noor Jahir, who is a researcher and a scholar, has come from Delhi, to express her views.
Respected respected Swamis of the Ramakrishna Mission, Raj Mataji, Sister Lucy and Kamla Ben, honored to share the platform with you. And friends, I'm afraid the line that I would take might be a little different from the ones that you've been hearing since the morning. I have worked for the last 25 years with riot victims, and my take on religion is slightly bitter. Coming to the subject, what is really dignity and empowerment of women? Is it being physically secure, well-fed with 3 regular meals, a family and an assurance that one is not going to die alone? Is it doing some work that brings some income and so brings economic empowerment? Or is it the woman exploring and finding their own space, leaving to take decisions, understanding that some of their decisions might go wrong, and standing by their failures, learning from them that they can write their own destiny? When I think of women and religion, the first thing that comes to my mind is Maxim Gorky writing his autobiography, the first volume, Childhood. Here he is describing his grandmother and grandfather praying. While the grandfather prays always in Hebrew, of which he does not understand himself a single word, but he prays in that grand manner, shouts out those sentences that he has learnt from childhood, and thinks that it is, believes that it is worship. While when his grandmother prays, she talks to God. She talks to God as a friend, tells him in the most common man's Russian, tells him what her problems are, explains to him that actually I should not be explaining this to you, you are God, you already know, you are a dear friend, and you understand, and just tell me, I mean, who is going to help me, who is going to get me out of this situation, if not you? After all, you are God, and why else are you God? She talks as an equal, as a friend. For me, Gorky's grandmother is in harmony with religion. While it is good to think of religious harmony, and I presume that that means inter-religious harmony, there is also the element of conflict hidden within this. Religious disharmony invariably leads to indignity of women, creates insecurity for them, and creates problem for them in their work, economic contribution, and day-to-day schedule, because they are soft targets. Before we come to religious harmony, it is important to understand who or what has made women soft targets. Before we discuss the conflicts between religions, it is more important for me to focus on the disharmony within religions. The status of women as defined by our understanding of religious creeds and scriptures. Someone mentioned in one of the morning sessions the Shia-Sunni conflict. I'm talking about conflicts like that. If we take the case of Islam, and I happen to be a little more knowledgeable about that than about other religions. History tells us that the first 2 converts to Islam, who were converted by the Prophet himself, who said the namaz behind him, were Hazrat Khadija, his wife, and Hazrat Ali, his cousin. They received the earliest instructions and were included in the task of preaching the Islamic faith. Then why and how in Islam is the woman completely segregated from the clergy today. When I look closer home and take an overview of women trying to find a voice in the society in India, I see so many examples in the immediate past, something that most of you would have read in the newspapers and would be able to connect to. A Muslim woman group in Shillong has a few years back won the legal battle that they be allowed to offer namaz in the mosques at the same time as men. Now, there are two disharmonious things here for me. One, that they have to fight a legal battle to pray and praise their Creator. So in a way, the human being is made out higher than the Supreme God, the Creator. And that I, as a woman, need to take the permission of a mortal human to worship the immortal. The second is about the timing. This women's group was, as a compromise, offered a different time to pray in the mosque. Now, the Quran is very specific about giving the timings of the namaz. So the clergy was willing to go against the Quran, which specifies the time and the manner of prayer for all Muslims, irrespective of gender, but not willing to allow women in the community prayer. A few years back, a lady in Lucknow, a young girl in Lucknow actually, who is well versed in the Quran and a devout Muslim, decided to marry a young man her parents had selected for her, but insisted that it has to be a woman who would perform the nikah. The Quran specifically states that any person knowledgeable of the Quran and the Islamic traditions can perform the nikah. Dr. Saida Hamid of the Planning Commission conducted this nikah, but the all-male clergy have so far refused to accept the marriage, the nikah. Disharmony within the community. All of us are aware of the Bhopal gas tragedy, that it is the biggest industrial disaster in history. And we also know that the manner in which the state and the central government handled the issue. I don't have to go into the details. While protests were going on all over the country, one middle-aged woman, Rashida Begum, realized that there was practically no representation of the female voice, even though women had been the worst sufferers. She began speaking at public platforms and understood, and this she told me in an interview, she understood that she could not do public service while she wore the niqab. It was a hard decision for her to give up burqa, the face covering burqa, but she took it because she had to find harmony, peace, shanti, whatever you call, so that she could be heard and have a say. I have recently been researching, compiling, and translating early women writing in Urdu, and I have found the huge amount of dissent in the female voice. They are writing about the manner in which they are kept away from education, from politics. India is then going through the turmoil of the struggle for freedom, for independence. How their marriages are decided, how they do not wish to leave their homes and migrate to Pakistan, a new formed country, how they are not happy at their sons being taught to nurture anger and hatred for other communities, and how they don't want war because they do not want to lose their men. Working on these 4 volumes of fiction and poetry, I have reached the conclusion that though women are often blamed for being the reason for conflict and disharmony, like Helen of Troy or Draupadi of India or Nefertiti of Egypt, they have never in history decided on unnecessary killing. I would like to ask here, how many women were consulted when communities wanted a different land marked as their country? Israel, Pakistan, or even countries that were not achieved, Khalistan, all desired by men. Women, when we find them fighting in the battlefield like Rani Jhansi or Chand Bibi, we see that they have been pushed into it and that they tried their level best that the disagreement not be settled in the battlefield. I would like to narrate here an incident which was told to me almost 6 months before she passed away, Isma Chughtai, one of the leading fiction writers of Urdu. A Hindu and a Muslim family, this is her own story. A Hindu and a Muslim family were neighbors, and their 6-year-old daughters were bosom friends. But though they practically spent the whole day with each other, puja days banned the Muslim girl from the Hindu household. One Janmashtami, the Muslim girl, out of curiosity, crept stealthily into the puja room just to see what lay in the so decorated room. And when her eyes fell on the silver baby Krishna lying in the swing cot, she was so overwhelmed that involuntarily she picked up the idol and held it to her heart. Immediately, hell broke loose. The Muslim girl was accused of trying to steal the silver idol. The relations broke between the two neighbors, and for 11 years they did not converse or meet or have any relationship, though they lived next to each other. 11 years later, the Hindu girl was to be married, and she sent an invitation for her childhood friend through her brother, and with it, she sent a silver Krishna. Let women understand. Let women understand. Allow us the space to share our symbols, our deities, our beliefs. Believe me, when women come close, the society really comes close. We are really friends forever because women bond, they make relationships which are strong, which do not break just because a religion changes or a caste changes or anything like that. Women have to debate, women have to discuss their religions, they have to discuss the differences, they have to discuss the similarities, they have to come to their own conclusions so that they can be participants in making a new society. दोस्तों, बुनियादी तौर पर मैं कहानीकार हूँ. कहानी सुनाए बगैर मेरी कोई बात मुकम्मल नहीं होती. इसलिए नहीं कि मुझे कहानी सुनाना अच्छा लगता है, आपको कहानी सुनने में मज़ा आता है, वो तो है ही. मैं समझती हूँ कि कहानियाँ बदलाव का बहुत बड़ा माध्यम है. हिमाचल प्रदेश में जहाँ मैंने 10 बरस काम किया है, वहाँ धूप बहुत कम देर के लिए निकलती है. कुम्हार बहुत जल्दी 1.5-2 महीने के अंदर अपने मिट्टी के बर्तन बना लेते हैं और सुखा लेते हैं, और फिर उनको जाड़ों भर जब बारिशें होती रहती हैं और बर्फ़ गिरती है तो भट्टी अंदर रहती है, उसमें धीरे धीरे पकाते हैं. ऐसी ही एक सुबह एक कुम्हार सो कर के उठा और उसने दिल में सोचा कि चलो कुछ सुराही बनाई जाए. वो अपनी चाक पर गया, मिट्टी का लोंदा उसने उठाया, चाक पर रखा, चाक घुमाई और उसको जब वो रूप देने लगा तो वो सुराही की जगह घड़ा बनने लगा. मिट्टी चिल्लाई, अरे अरे कुम्हार, क्या करते हो भाई, मैं तो सुराही हूँ, तुम मुझे घड़ा बनाए दे रहे हो. कुम्हार बोला, हाँ मेरा विचार बदल गया. सुराही बोली, तुम्हारा विचार बदल गया, मेरा संसार बदल गया. विचार बदलते हैं दोस्तों तो संसार बदलता है. आइए कोशिश करें हम लोगों के विचार महिलाओं के प्रति बदलें, हमारे मापदंड बदलें, हमारे सोचने समझने का तरीका बदले, ताकि बीता हुआ कल जब आज से गुजर कर आने वाले कल में तब्दील हो तो उसका चेहरा रोशन हो, वो मुबारक हो, उसको देख के हमें डर न लगे, उसका आने का हमें इंतज़ार रहे. शुक्रिया.